Hey y'all, welcome back to my video. This is Ladybug Lotus, and I'm here as aka the self-love spiritualist, with some great energy going on around me, inside of me today. uh, I'm happy, right? So I'm feeling happy. Got off work. It's time for a video, because what else am I gonna do with all this energy? You feel me? So thank you for clicking on my video, checking my channel out. If this is not your first time, thanks for returning. If this is your first time, hey. So this is my one of my videos that is about self-love, because as I have discovered, self-love is my lane. I've done a lot of self-love to heal my heart and my inner child, and thus my life, my mind, spirit, soul, body, everything. And I'm happy because I am I am seeing rewards of this work, y'all. And so the title for this video, I'm thinking is going to be something like self-love celebration or something like that, because one thing that I'm realizing is, when it comes to self-love, you're gonna have you practice self-love, you must include times for celebration up in there. You ain't gotta wait for the holidays and for your birthday. Go with the energy, right? Like, that's why I love the respect of energy so much, because say you wake up on the day of your birthday and you're sick. You're not about to be in a party mood, right? But if you just go with energy, maybe energy will have you celebrating sooner or later, or just at different times. And I think that, holidays, the holidays are holy days, right? Holy days. So, you know, you don't have to have your only holy days, the days that you deem as holy, meaning important, sacred, to you. Those days don't only have to be determined by, like, the government or society or anything external of what it is that you would like to celebrate, or honor or respect. um and so, like, you can create your own holy days, like with you and your family, with you and your tribe, you and your partner, you and yourself, self-love, right? So for me, I'm feeling like today, uh May 30th, is officially a holy day. Now, will it be one next year? I don't know. I'm not even thinking in the sense like it has to be an annual situation, but I'm talking about as far as today. This is a self-love celebration. Okay? It's a celebrate. It's a celebrate, because I'm happy. And it's been some time since I've been able to really, like, say that for real. You know what I mean? And, like, feel it in every inch of my body. In every fiber of my bones. So I'm going to celebrate, just like how they have you do in church. You want praise and all that. You don't have to do that when somebody tell you to. That was one thing I did not really like about going, or I didn't like about my experience with church, was like the whole call and response thing, and the whole, like, clap your hands. You got to clap your hands when they say to clap your hands, but if you clap your hands out of, when they not telling you, you're gonna look crazy. You know what I mean? And or stand up, and then if you're not standing up when they tell you to stand up, you looking crazy. But if you're standing up when they're not, you know what I mean? Like, I just never really, I'm such an individual, so that's never really vibed with me. But listen, whenever you feeling the need to do some praise, do some worship, man, y'all, look, what was I doing the other day? I was cleaning up, doing some spring cleaning. And I do a lot of, like, listening to stuff, like audiobooks type stuff, a podcast, YouTube videos, stuff like that. Like, uh, I want to say intellectual, but these days it's more spiritually intellectual, you know. Um, but sometimes my body, my mind, my heart, all of me needs music. So I was cleaning up and I wouldn't been able to get through, even get started without some music. Man, y'all, I was jamming, dancing like I was in a club. And then I was so into it after a while because I'm like, oh my gosh, like my knees are working so good and my joints working so good. And like I low key felt like I did when I would go out while in college. Like we would go out to the club and stuff, our parties and all that, because I've always loved to dance, just freely dance. Always have loved to do that. Man, y'all was up here and here dancing like I was in the middle of the flow, at a club, and then singing. And that's one thing I love about living alone. For real. Can't nobody tell me nothing. um but yeah, like, so it had already kind of gotten started then. But today, y'all, it's a different kind of day. Like, I'm happy, so. And so, yeah, self-love celebration. Like, you ain't gotta wait for nobody to join your celebration. You ain't gotta send out no invitations. You feel me? It all you need is you. All you need is you. All you need is you and your inner child. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you something, like, oh my gosh, I'm just the season of just rewards, I think, for our karma. Let's say karma, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just my life. I don't know if it's who else. For me, um, it seems to be a season opening up of like the karma that I've been waiting on, the good karma. You feel me? Because I can't lie to y'all. I'm not exaggerating when I say I have given so much of myself to this world in many different ways. I'm not lying, y'all. I'm not exaggerating. So I don't have to explain myself, I know. But I think even me doing that, saying that like that, the way I just did, is even me talking to myself, because I'm not so naturally, and I'm not naturally an easy receiver. And I was not trained and raised to be a great receiver, you know, much more definitely of a giver. I got comfortable early on being a giver, you know. I got comfortable with that identity, with that responsibility early on. And I think it's a part of my makeup, like my soul's makeup, yes, but also it was nurture, it was nature and nurture, making me into a, a huge giver, passionate giver. But balance is a part of this world's, uh, uh, you know, just smooth operations. In order for operations to be smooth, we got to have balance. We got to have yin and yang. We got to have give and take. I can't be just a giver. I have to receive as well. If I'm not open myself up to receiving, I am going to be out of whack. Back to depression, back to anxiety, back to suicidal thoughts, back to repeating karmic cycles with negative partners or partners who are not good for me, back to just emptying of myself and being so mad, that I'm so empty, back to leading myself into situations where I'm just being drained and being used for my energy, you know, where I now work at. Of course, I'm not gonna give out all the details, but where I now work at is primarily customer service, a form of retail. Okay. Um. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that. The reason why I went back into this industry, because I used to be in this industry, more so food service. Yeah, food service industry. Um, I used to work at a cafe when I went to college. At my college, I worked at a cafe on campus, and I loved it, y'all. I loved it. I loved the way it grew me, the way it just made me bring out the best parts of myself when challenged to do so. When given the opportunity to do so, it gave me the reflections that I needed for myself, so that I knew, you know, knew where I would be messing up. I never forget one day, this lady, she was just being a little too rude for me, and but I'm on the customer service side, and for me, it's important how you send someone off. You might see them again, and I did. So when I worked at cafe, I was a student. Eventually, I met her when I became uh, like an actual worker, administrator, basically her colleague. First, I'm a student at the school that she works at. Then I'm her colleague in a different department. Eventually, and I just prayed and hoped that she didn't remember me from that moment when I was a student. So even though she had, her part that she played, I don't even remember what she did. I just remember really like what I did, and then her her visible response. I remember it was something. And mind y'all, I was a student, probably had some finals going on, like I don't know, but something happened, and I rolled my eyes so hard. I rolled my eyes so hard. She knew it was because of her. She saw me. She caught me. She didn't tell on me, but we made eye contact. you know. So, but it's so funny because eventually I was working as a colleague of hers. Never came up again, but I remembered. Why did I start? Okay, cafe. Oh, so in terms of like affecting people, that type of work, like those types of moments, began to reflect back to me and show me like how much I care about how I affect people for real. Not saying you could please everybody, because you can't, but I learned like I began to learn more about my own, like what I'm responsible for in regards to my own self. And now when I think about it, because I've experienced some things where I work now that have me like, I'm gonna go higher. I was just listening to something on my way to work this morning. This YouTube channel. I gotta shout her out because I love her stuff. Was it her? Even if it wasn't her, Intuitive Fire. Hell yeah. Yeah, I love her. Shout out to Intuitive Fire. That's the channel. But who was it that I was listening to this morning? On my way to work, it was somebody else that I never really have watched her videos before, but on point. I'm gonna get it next time. No, I'm not gonna get it right now. I'll shout it out next time. But she was like talking about something. She was like, she gave an example of Michelle Obama. I guess once said something like, "When they go low, we go high." So, in my place of work now, one, with the standards that's set by the company, I'm just in love, because it's all about just humanity. We're all about humanity and the standards of the company. Now, I can't say that's the case for everybody that actually worked there, but I'm training to be a leader there, so I'm loving that I naturally resonate with them, and did not know that philosophy before I applied to work there, but it ended up, I'm telling y'all, karma, good karma, rewards, they rolling in. Okay, I started talking about my cafe experience to talk about how I decided to work where I work now. So yes, because that cafe experience when I was a student, loved it. I loved my manager. Okay, loved my manager, Carlos. Um, Love my manager. He was so good to me. Um, um, I ended up taking on responsibilities I never have, opening the cafe, closing the cafe, like being the first one there, being the last one to leave type stuff, handling the money, demonstrating my trustworthiness, ordering inventory, managing inventory. Just I was boss. I was a boss, but with a great boss of my own, which is like the best setup to me. So anyway, I went into eventually working social services type work with foster youth. Me being a former foster youth and naturally a youth advocate, lover of children. Eventually, I went into social services and did that type of work. It's like a mixture of social services, education, foster youth, kind of all put together in many different facets. I did that for like 13 years. Eventually, got up on out of that so I could take care of me. Y'all, I just want to mention, because I talked about self-love and the fountain of youth in a different video. Y'all, I was doing some spring cleaning yesterday. When I tell y'all, if you watch that video, if you haven't, check it out. If you have, you'll remember that I talked about how there's been times along my life path where my life journey where I have looked older, I feel, than what I was because of being heavier, carrying more weight, being like visibly depressed or something, like just compared to how I am in terms of like being used to myself. I've had times where I wasn't, basically the way I feel about me, what was on the outside was reflecting just disorientation on the inside, lack of self-love on the inside. Okay, y'all, I found a picture that demonstrated it so perfectly. I ripped that shit up. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see me like that again, because it's like that's not me. It wasn't me. It wasn't reflecting who I really am. And I remember that year. Oh, I was depressed. That was the year I first started separating from my adopted family. That was the first year I stood up for myself and others with my adoptive mother, like face to face. So that might have been the year they cranked up the spell work on me, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, for real. I gotta tell you the truth, because when I was looking at the picture, like I had described in the video, like I have looked back on pictures or videos where darkness under my eyes, but and like heavier weight. This one, it demonstrated it perfectly. I might have been at my worst in that picture, and I was at a work event, and I just looked so not like me. My eyes, you could barely see them because my face was so big, so chunky, and I was smiling, but I know me, and it might have been a slightly genuine smile in the moment, but like I said in that video as well, I remember having times where it was hard for me to smile like I naturally smile. Like if I'm just at my best self naturally, and I'm happy and laughing and shit, you're gonna see all my teeth, all of them, And there was times where it was very hard for me to just flex my cheeks, Like, that didn't sound right. It was hard for me to smile for real, like genuinely. And this picture just demonstrated, and I'm like, damn. Okay. So then I realized what job I was working, and I'm like, okay. That must have been that first year, and that first year at that job was crazy. Like I said, that was the year I first stood up to my adopted mother. That was the last year I saw her. It was 2018. And with everything I've been learning now through like dreams and spiritual readings and the other divine folks on YouTube who talk about this stuff, definitely could have been a lot of like spell work going on, and it showed. I found that picture, y'all, and it was a picture that they had posted up on the wall in the office. I hated that picture, and I remember somebody gonna turn around and look back at me talking about, it's cute. Shut the hell up. No, it ain't, because I know me, and I haven't looked like this maybe since the 5th grade, you know. Anyway, it was crazy, but why did I say that? Because we talking about self-love. That was a part of the self-love talk, but that was a part of my self-love journey. I'm all over the place. You can count this one as one of the ones featuring my scattered brain syndrome. I made that up, I think. I don't know. I didn't read it nowhere else. I just made it up. But it might exist somewhere else. But yeah, no, y'all. Back to the cafe talk. So yeah, I started working. Okay, that social services type of that was during my career when I was looking like that, like I didn't love myself. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm going all over the place. I'm gonna tell you that was very true. That I didn't love myself. I didn't even know what self-worth was, y'all. Like, I would see women. I have no problem admiring fellow women's beauty. Okay? No problem at all. I remember seeing like beautiful women and being like, she know her worth. She know her worth. And then me wondering, I wish I knew how she knows her worth. Like, and what does that even mean? And I remember I started asking that question for real, y'all, like in spirit. Like, what is self-worth? What is my self-worth? Like, what does that even mean? And I'm 20, at least 28 years old, asking this question. And, you know, and I'm like, you know, that's sad to me. Like, why am I asking this question? I was raised by a woman with another young woman who's older than me. Why at 28 do I not know what self-worth is as a woman? That's a crime. That's a crime. Going to church with all these other women. Where's the young women focused programs? What was I? What happened with me? I was placed. I mean, I accepted the position because I love children, but I was placed into a position of leadership as soon as it was seen that I could do that. But where was the mentorship? Where was the mothering? It wasn't there. It's okay now. I'm learning how to self-mother, and I'm learning how to connect with my ancestors. That's gonna be a video I have to create one of these days, but something to talk more about, because that changed my life. I must tell you, changing my life, giving me the juice that I've been needing. But everything in divine timing, for real. Ancestors, your passed on loved ones, honoring the fact that we are also spirit and not just physical. We are also spiritual. Yeah. So, and in spiritual is when you are at your most powerful. I just heard that, had to say it. Cafe talk. Okay. Because I used to work at that cafe, and I really got to know, you know, whatever. Okay, I got into social services, did that for 13 years, got back out to love me. To love me. To be for me. To start being for me what I've always needed and what I was always given. I was a youth advocate, literally titles of mine: youth advocate, program coordinator, program counselor, program manager, adult supporter, and then if you want to throw this in there, big sister, auntie, you know what I mean, cousin, babysitter, you know, and then of course the customer service work, you know, usher at the church, you know, praise worship leader at times, you know, club president at school type stuff, you know, like all really great stuff. But just to demonstrate to you the giving that I've done, you know. So when I decided to leave that career field, I can't say it's permanent. I can't, because I definitely see me eventually getting back into something with children. Bunch of children somewhere, somehow, kindergarten teacher, something, I don't know. But I need the babies at some point. If not, just a whole bunch of my own. Hello. But yeah, so I got out of that, got into, just doing something simple, much more simple. Nothing requiring no crazy, not crazy credentials. I'm grateful for my credentials, but nothing requiring none of that. Some crazy competition to get the jobs, and so just eased things up, for myself, so that I could take care of my inner child, my heart, my soul, my mind. I had to save myself. Self-love saves. Like I swear. Uh, got back into some customer servicing because I just can't stay away from it. Then it was in the place where I was doing that, it just became too much. Because you can only do so much. I can only do so much, and if you are part of a system that requires so much more structure or whatever, just more support for you to do what you can, and that's not there, like, gotta reconsider, especially if it's tearing away at you. So that's what happened. Started tearing away at me, along with extra ways in which I was giving of myself throughout my own personal life. Then took that at least a month off. Took that minimum 1 month off from work. Now I am where I am now. And I must say, so okay, during that month off, I met some folks, had conversations, doing a whole lot of inner self-talk, whole lot of praying, communing, meditating, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's all the same. With the higher spiritual authorities in my life, and eventually realized through all those different things, like, hey, I just want to get back to the basics, like my favorite job. No shade to anybody that I've ever worked with through the social services work, or anybody I've ever met, connected with, helped, supported, guided, mentored, advised, advocated for. Nothing, all that work, dear to me. 13 years of that work, dear to me. But my favorite job, as just an individual, just doing something that makes me just feel, not that that stuff wouldn't make me feel good. There were things that, everything has its pros and cons. That stuff was more of me, I don't know, y'all. It's different. So, my favorite job, I'm gonna just leave it at that. My favorite job was that cafe job. When I thought about it, I did that for 3 years. 3 years. And only left because I had to leave the school because I was graduating. I had to move on and become a professional, But listen, I'm back. I'm back there. I done went back. I'm not at the school, but I'm back in that realm. And it's adding to my happiness, y'all. It's helping me to be happy. Like, and then this helps me to be happy. And the only thing that puts a damper on this is just the realization that there are people out here, just even in general, who live to take that away from people. Why? And the other thing is that a lot of those, that I know people of that group or type. I've loved people who are like that. You happy? Ooh, I gotta take that away from you. Ooh, let me put a blockage in front of you so that you don't continue experiencing that. Ooh, that breaks my heart. For real, it does. That gives me a feeling in my stomach. I wish that was not the case. I do, because why? Happiness. I'm not always able to say I'm happy, y'all. And now that I'm here and I'm able to say I'm happy today, I know this isn't an everyday thing. It's making me realize, and this is what loved ones of yours has been aiming to keep away from you. That makes me so sad. But it's okay, because I'm realizing the whys, and kinda, I guess. The story I gotta think about, I love the Jesus story, I do. I also love and gotta think about, now that I'm here, I gotta think about that Joseph story in the Bible. Story of Joseph. The brother had all them brothers. The brother. He probably was a brother. The young man who all his brothers, they sold him. They was jealous of him. He didn't know no better. He didn't have the same mindset. I feel me. And he didn't have the same mindset. He telling them about his dreams, and they know what it means, right? But you trying to say we gonna bow down to you? Who you think you are? He don't know. He's just telling them dreams. Telling them what the dreams was. And they get mad. Sell him off. Tell the daddy that he dead. So they didn't give a fuck about Joseph nor the daddy. That's messed up. But what happened? He got elevated. He was always destined for that position anyway. He had to go through that. He had to. They ripped up his robe. But that was because he was going to get another robe that they couldn't even touch. They would get killed if they was to touch the robe that he was heading into getting and eventually got. So that helps to soothe my heart. When I think about the fact that, the way I feel right now, for anybody to ever feel such happiness, and then for there to ever be anybody else in life, but then definitely around them, part of your family, a person who ever said they love you, person who you ever shared your body with, your money with, your heart with, your soul, creative processes. I really just light up in creative processes, making music and stuff. Them folks, anybody you ever thought of having a child with, have had children with, anybody you ever married, best friends, so-called friends, for any of them people to be in the position, Judas, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, huh? As much as I love the Bible, I guess I can't be surprised. Judas, Jesus, Joseph, his brothers. Because eventually what happens? Well, they either take their own self out, Judas, can't handle, after realizing what he's done to who it is that he's done, those things to. Or they gotta come and bow eventually. Because that's what Joseph's brothers did. They had to come and they bowed. And after he had his revenge, he loved them still. He put into action his love for them still. You know what kind of heart that is? That's a different kind of heart. So there are those of us walking this earth with those types of hearts. But you got, for every one of them types, how many brothers did he have? I can't remember. But at least 8. I know it was at least 8. He had several brothers. Was it 12? Was it like 11 brothers, 12? Like that magic number 12. I can't remember, but yeah. For every one, you got several more that don't match your vibe, your heart's vibe. And guess what? Usually, those who do, they not gonna be found around you. That's why they say a prophet ain't gonna be honored in his own hometown. You're gonna have to get up and get out. But what happens? Eventually, there's a reunification. Eventually, but after you've been crowned, after you've begun your ministry, after you have progressed on your mission, after that, and it's all spirit. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like, I have yet to get that feeling that it's time for that type of thing for me, because I'm just now, like, for real, like, okay, not to say I ain't never got nothing before, right? Like, oh, you just been giving and not receiving nothing for real. Not to say that. I don't want that to be the message. I will say what I've received typically it's like it it hasn't been the type of receiving that has made me happy. It's been things that's like made me maybe stable, maybe allowed me to maintain my living as an individual, you know. Stuff that I worked hard for though, degrees, jobs, worked hard to get. Though I must say I've had favor in the area of work. I can't lie and say I haven't. Typically it hasn't been difficult for me to find work, right? So always been grateful for that, for real, for real. Um, but not but and also with housing, I must say that too. Like typically my processes of getting into housing goes really fast, you know. So always been grateful for that. I've always recognized my favor in those areas for my stability. And I'm grateful for that because I know that, and I think that's why I've had that favor there, is because my mind has been so fragile uh, to where if my stability was highly threatened that way, which it has been lately, and the way my mind is already set up due to trauma and my background, I don't think I'd be here today, like in existence. So I feel like I've had that favor. Like you can even see it in my astrology chart. Like, okay, we gonna help her out here because whoo, look at this shit. you know, she gotta have some give. Something gotta give, right? So I always been grateful for that, for real. Um, I guess when I talk about receiving in regards to like things that make me happy, like just receiving something that's given back to me, I guess I must say. I've gotten a lot and received a lot that it's still kind of like, oh, I got this now, but it's still like highly demanding of me. You know what I mean? Like getting a great job in the social services field as a counselor or a manager, but whoa, the demand on me, right? That type of work, emotional, physical, mental, great stuff, but the demand, right? So, versus, like, I must say, y'all, like now, where I'm working at now, like today was just a really, really good day. Still training, learning stuff. But I'm just realizing how I've been set up to be able to be mostly the favorite part of me, which is my younger, like enthusiastic, inner child, happy, just, just no cares, no worries, Hakuna Matata type, be able to be that way. And for the sake of even the work and how it all goes together, that makes me happy. That's possible for me now. Like even when customer service demand rises, today something was clicking, like you know what to do. You know what to do. Even if everything can't be perfect, you know how to navigate, because that's my inner child. She be like, oops, my bad, I'm gonna do that again. Oops, I missed that. Dang it. God, I need to, like So even with the mistakes, but like taking them in such enthusiastic and beautiful stride makes my heart glow. And just to realize like my position and ability to be able to do that, and like even be an example to others to be able to do that, and like be easy on themselves. And it's not just about yourself, but it even adds to the customer experience of what we're doing, and also the colleague experience, like those around you. And I just love now that I'm living and working in the South, because when I'm in that space of just enthusiastic and just like, mistakes happen and it's oops, kind of like a, ooh, like I Love Lucy type thing, or SpongeBob, or, just this young, innocent naivety type of situation going on, but just like definitely always still wanting to do your best, and but at the same time, not getting down on yourself when you're not making that mark, and you just kind of like keeping that vibe high. Yes. Like that that makes me happy, realizing like I'm back in a mental head space, heart space, physical space, like my body is able to keep up with this, um emotional, where I'm able to do that, you know and have a customer whose order might be messed up, but still able to send them off with a smile after fixing it and making it correctly, send them off with a smile. And it's like, to be able to do that to me is like magic, because at the end of the day, humanity first. Okay, humans first, people first. We were heading into an age of what would you call it? Tech tyranny. Not that I don't appreciate technology, because I do, but I don't want to sacrifice humanity for technology. I don't want to do that. I don't want. I prefer natural over artificial. I do. So to be in a place where that type of understanding and love, the love for that, the love for actual humanity, as I'm getting back into loving myself as a human, it's a gorgeous situation. Meeting great people, you know. I'm happy, y'all. Now, look, I know this ain't every day. Because, look, I had to check the moon, and the moon is in Libra today. And Libra come with real good vibes. If you already in a good mood, Libra will amp that shit up, okay? Libra is all about people and relationships. Like, I used to sometimes not be able to stand Libras because I'm like, well, again, when I was younger, good. Then I started getting older and like having all my own issues to deal with and stuff. So I'd be like, bring it down, right? Like, to the Libra, but the Libra, I got a Libra. Oh my God, former coworker. I used to actually manage her. She's actually older than me, married, children, everything. And sometimes I just would not understand. Like, you really that happy for real? For real? Like, you can't be. It's, yeah. Stop. I know you cry alone in the bathroom on the toilet, All bad, y'all. All bad. That's how you know my sun sign is not in Libra. But at my best, I have been mistaken as a Libra. Somebody has told me like, you ain't no Aquarius, you a Libra. But it's funny because there's different astrology systems. So another one would say I'm a Capricorn, but I ain't found one yet that say I'm a Libra. Maybe Libra in my first house, but not even rising, but just in my first house. Anyway, I used to hate on the Libra energy. I did, because I would told y'all I ain't always. I'm still learning this self-love stuff, because if you ain't doing self-love, you cannot embrace another person's happiness. You just can't do it. And I don't like that. I always knew, like, you know, something wrong with that attitude. You know, like if I'm hating on my Libra colleague because she just, I'm like, you're faking it. But then it'd be like, well, damn, she do a real good job at faking it. She like this like every day. But she was a self-loving person. She would keep herself looking beautiful. Like and that's another thing about Libras. They like to decorate themselves and their homes, and I love that. She would be decked out, and all the time she had this aura. She did. Damn, should I call her? She had this aura that made me at least, be like, oh, she happy. You know, she would tell me about her stories regarding her husband and how people would hate on her or talk about her, not hate, but like talk down on her marriage because her husband had been in service. So once he got out the service, she let him, not let him, but their arrangement was like him at home with the kids, her out working, you know, and people would talk about her and talk down on their situation because of that. And she would be like, and I don't even care, Anthony. I don't even care, you know, because they don't understand. I've met her husband, loving man, kissing on her forehead. We sitting there having a meeting at our dinner table, which is decked out, by the way. He come in with some snacks and whatever just to feed us, and so we, you know, and just just gorgeous stuff, you know. So, and that was her tribe, that was hers. This is mine. Her sons, the way they loved on their sons, you know, gorgeous shit, just gorgeous. So I'm getting some of that, you know. So I guess, yeah, moon today is in Libra last I checked, so it's helping me to feel this energy even more. I ain't complaining. I want to get on here, you know, and just kind of, I mean, per usual, free flow, but have this kind of be like a celebratory video, maybe. Wish I maybe had some balloons and stuff. It's cool. It's just energy. You know, I'm in a celebratory energy because I know it's been my self-love work that has had me conquer in my spiritual battles as of late. You know, and you know, they say like after the storm comes the sun, what? The rainbow. And I'm feeling that rainbow energy. I gotta tell y'all I am. And I'm gonna embrace it. And I wanted to do this as well because again, I know that I'm not usually one to really relish, you know, in something that's being given to me, and it's just for me, like it's been a long time. I feel like since I've done that. And I gotta point this out. When I started the self-love stuff, like I had social media, like more social media, like TikTok and YouTube. Not YouTube. Well, no, I had YouTube, TikTok. I had Instagram, Facebook. So I was doing these TikTok videos about my self-love stuff, and was going to yoga and like documenting, you know, like my experiences with yoga. Well, kinda not. I didn't have me on video doing yoga, but I would like be talking about my yoga class after I got out, you know, and just talking about it or whatever. But I started doing all that in 2020. Lies. 2021. 2021, I think. It was before I moved to the South. And you know, it started causing, like in tarot, what they call towers. Started leading to a whole bunch of towers, you know, happening around me, due to like me speaking up for myself and expressing my authenticity when, you know, I wasn't feeling something for real and I had to tell somebody for real, and I wasn't, you know, that wasn't something that people was used to for me. Not these particular people, which was usually the people I kept closer to my heart than anyone else. And so I started doing all that, and then eventually, like I had mentioned before, with the help of my therapist and stuff, I ended up deciding to move across the country. Y'all, when I moved across the country, I was planning to still, do self-love. But I think the self-love just entered me into a new level. Especially after like letting the towers fall that needed to fall. And I let them, meaning I let go of some folks. All right, well, you can't do me like this, then you can't do me at all. And I can't do you. So don't call me no more. Stuff like that. Like, So when I moved, what I think happened was, now that I think back on it, oh goodness, y'all, this is so crazy how this happens. The self-love was leading me to rewards of it, right? Even the move was a reward. It was all rewards, and finding housing real fast, yet again, work real fast, having a mindset change, and like just understanding like I don't have to do life the way I'd been doing it for the past 30 something years, 32, 30, 31 at that point, something like that. I don't have to do it this way. I can break free. I don't have to stay in these four walls, my mind and cage and all that. I don't have to. So I'm gonna go do something else, So I get here. First of all, I'm dizzy because I'm like, this is different, but now that I think about it, I might have just been feeling all the magic that goes on out here. Because, I tell you, yeah. Magic is real, y'all. So, anyway, I felt for a while like I was floating. Like, I'd be like, is it weed in the air? Like, am I having a contact high? Like, that's what it felt like. I'm going to therapy. I'm telling my therapist, like, because I found my old favorite therapist helped me find a new therapist out here. So I'm meeting with that therapist, and I'm telling her, like, I just feel like I'm reeling. I feel like I'm kind of floating. I mean, it feels nice. I feel lighter than I ever have before, but I'm like, I don't feel like my feet on the ground. I feel like I'm floating. So that lasted for a while. But I must say, I think, now that I think about it, it could have been just a whole bunch of spell work happening to me, on me, because of all the people that found out when I moved to leave and distance myself after saying no to this person, no to that person. No, I made a lot of people mad. That could have been part of it. Now that I know that shit is so very real, and has been so very real over my life for a very long time. But y'all, when I think about it, because now I'm headed into completing my second year here. I'm like at a year and a half almost. And there are certain things coming back around. And it's like, wait, I remember this. Wait, I saw that once before last year. Wait, I was there. Y'all, with the self-love work, it was attracting exactly what I needed and wanted in other areas of life. So I told you with the housing and working, usually that didn't come so hard for me. And your astrology chart will let you know like where you're gonna struggle most, where you're gonna be probably more so favored. Look for Jupiter. For me, it will let me know, like stability, never really a problem. Right? So again, grateful for that. So, but in other areas where it's like, ooh, this is a little bit of extra. This some cherries. This is the whipped cream. This is the buttercream on top of the cake. Ooh, yeah. This is the good stuff. Some of that was already coming my way last year. And now that I'm sitting and reflecting, I'm like, as a result of my self-love work. But what did I do? I was derailed, or I was distracted, you know, too disoriented, you know, to understand what the goodness was, you know. I wasn't ready yet, but it was like I was given glimpses of what's to come. And now, like what's to come as rewards for that self-love, work and commitment and the drastic loyalty to that work. There was some things that had to be closed up though. Some lessons still needed to be learned, cycles still needed to be closed, you know. So one more huge go around, and now closed out several cycles, have closed several doors. And then stuff is looking kind of familiar, and I'm like back in the self-love. And so then I'm like, oh, I remember you, I remember that, I remember this feeling, this real childlike surrendered feeling, you know, where it's like, I don't know what to do, universe, you take control. But now with even a lot more of knowing who I am, having more wisdom, you know. And it's just crazy because it's like, that's what self-love will do. Self-love will attract your rewards to you. The other things is now going to add to your love. The love in your life. Y'all literally live in an area called love. Like, it's called love. Somebody named it love, and then the universe moved me here. Or my self-love attracted me to this place, to this area, you know, that is now showing more of its purpose of why here. So it's just so crazy because, and it's a beautiful thing because I get the synchronicities and I get the signs and let me know, yes, good, that's good. Look, God created the earth in 7 days or whatever, and then I'm sorry, not whatever, but you know, I'm just trying to, I don't remember verbatim, but he looked and saw that it was good. Yes. Sit back a little bit, you know, drink, have a little wine. My creation, like a finished painting. Yeah. Just yes. And then confirmations, yes. Affirmations of the right moves, yes. Yes. And I don't know. I don't know if I can say I've had it like this before. So y'all, I'm happy. But I'm saying that to say too, the self-love part, like self-love will attract those rewards and that good karma, but also will attract the thieves. And see what happened last year when I first got here, and it was those rewards and stuff was pouring, kind of trickling in. Everything divine timing though. It's not like I messed up or anything, because yeah, I've seen proof of that as well. Everything in divine timing. So it was like, here's a taste, here's a glimpse. Now go finish what you need to finish, and you'll be back. It'll be back. They'll be back. It'll be back. Once you get back to you. And shit, that's what's happening. That's what I feel. That's what I feel is happening. I'm happy, and I won't suppress my happiness for nobody anymore. Because you know what? You shouldn't feel bad. Nobody should feel bad that I'm happy. I want to spread this happiness, put it out there so that other people can catch some. Put your cup out here. Take some happiness, because I'm in abundance of it right now. I will share it with you. Take some. Not all of it. You can't empty me of it no more though. You can take some. And then go and get your own. I want some of that. Yeah, let me figure out how to get some of that. Go ahead. I want you to. For real. All right, y'all. Y'all know I don't really want to go past an hour, so I'm going to stop here because I could go on and on forever. But this is my self-love celebration. I just want to share it with y'all. I'm in a happy place today. Again, I know it don't and nothing good lasts, I don't know, whatever. I don't even know if I want to say that. But today, that's what it is. So thank you for watching. And till next time. Bye.